First, let's dive into the game overall. Give me your thoughts on what you kind of saw out there.
Obviously a tough one. We want to go out and win, but felt like we came out with a lot of energy. There's just, it's tough when, every team goes on runs. We just got to figure out, and, talking to the vets, their biggest vices, when we know that they're going to go on a run, but just learning how to kill it quick and get back to ours. So, just keeping that energy contagious is what we need to keep doing.
And then in terms of this road trip, it's been a really rocky road trip, no wins. How do you guys kind of keep the energy positive in the locker room going back to Toronto?
I mean, it's easier said than done, but the biggest thing I feel like is just being resilient. I think that's a big speaking point of, just being willing to bounce back, not letting each other dwell on the losses. Like I said earlier, with the vets, they're a huge part of this team, and the guys that I talk to the most when I need anything, and I feel like their biggest advices are that stuff. The resilience and the season, the length of the season. You got to be resilient. You got to bounce back, and I feel like we haven't really had 2 days in between the games in a minute. So I feel like you got to be resilient. You can't dwell on those, and you got to have short-term memory and just bounce to the next game.
We got to talk about your career high again. What do you feel like is the driving factor for your career high performances?
I don't know. I always talk about energy. I feel like that's just what I'm gonna keep doing. Because with the player that I need to be for this team, I feel like I need to move a lot and have the juice to do that. Throughout the whole game, and I feel like when I do that, it kind of opens up the space for other guys, and in return, it helps those guys get to the rim and open up the floor for me. So it's kind of goes both ways, and I feel like the times that I do that, it helps my offensive game. And I've talked about it in other questions where the more active I am on defense, it kind of pushes me into my offense. So I feel like when I'm more locked in there, it just gives me more of a freedom to feel good offensively.
And then, we've talked about your conditioning in the off season and gaining 13 pounds of muscle. How much do you feel like that is having a direct correlation to the success that you're finding when you're having such great offensive games?
It's huge, especially that, having the energy to run different, possessions where, there hasn't been a timeout for a while, and still have the juice to, get up and down the floor where, maybe the defense may be lacking, a little, and that kind of gives you the edge to get, a couple more points for your team. But I feel like what I did in the offseason has definitely, helped me, gain a step. But at the same time, I'm far from where I want to be. I'm still young, and my body's not at all where it can be. So I feel like just going day by day, keep trying to improve is what my mind's at.
I really thought that we were fighting and competing for 48 minutes. I thought that turnovers were a big problem for us. Turnovers, we had 14 in the first half and another 7 in the second half. Between that and offensive rebounding, that decided the game. I thought that our half-court defense was really good. I thought that we did a really good job making them miss shots and making them play uncomfortably. And on the offensive end, today our percentages were not good. We were missing a bunch of shots. We had the problem scoring at the rim because of their size. But our fight was there, and the guys competed. I thought as a team that we got better today.
What has been your takeaway from the entire road trip as a whole?
To be honest with you, it's our guys, how they're staying together, how they're cheering for each other. They understand the situation that we're in, that we're undermanned with all the injuries that we're dealing with. And guys are just showing a lot of togetherness and a lot of fight. And I'm really proud of that. We got to continue pounding. We got to take one day at a time, one game at a time, and focusing really on us and our development.
Speaking of development, I feel like every single game almost, we're talking about a new career high for Gradey. So what did you see from him tonight?
He did a really good job in the first half. He scored 22 points in the first half, and it's impressive to see how this group is embracing him in games when he has games like this. Everybody were talking to him, helping him, looking for him. I thought that he was scoring on so many different ways, attacking in pick and rolls with cuts. starting to figure out how to play against top blocks, ball screens, and that's just testament to his work. He's continuing to put a lot of work in and get better.
Bruno Fernando had a bit more of an opportunity today. What did you see from him as well?
Bruno is ultimate professional. Jak picked up 2 fouls early in the game, and Bruno, he stepped on the court right away, and he was able to give us some good minutes there and to support for Jak.
It's Damon Stoudemire, and thanks for watching the Toronto Raptors YouTube channel. Check out our latest videos and subscribe for more.
Stoudemire launches a 3, knocks it in! Stoudemire. Yes! What a David Stoudemire!